Hello everybody. Welcome to this beautiful day on Wichita State's campus, even if it's not beautiful where you're at. So this will be our virtual tour of the Honors College. My name is Brandon Eckerman, and so before we go inside, I just want to share a little bit of information about what is the Honors College here at Wichita State University. So it is a college, as it's in its name here, so it's not like a program or department. It is a full-fledged college here at Wichita State. So we have currently about 650 students that are a part of the Honors College right now. And essentially what it does, it allows students to graduate with distinctions. It opens up a select coursework that only honor students can take, and it allows them access to a lot of our resources that we have in the Honors College. So we'll go ahead and hop inside and start showing off some of the facilities that we have. There we go. It's a lot less bright in here. So just here at the front desk, you can see normally when there isn't a global pandemic, we have this staffed here for students to ask questions, look for resources. Right now it's a little bit quiet around here, but it's great for a tour, right? So as we kind of walk our way in, you can see over here we have kind of a primary study zone. There's a little puzzle place over there in case anybody really likes puzzles. We have several Honors College students that really enjoy doing puzzles. But we also have some computers over here that are available to our students. So a big resource, especially as a senior right now, that I've used a lot in my time in the Honors College is the free printing that you can get. And when I was in high school, that didn't sound that exciting, but once I actually made it to college, it's amazing. So students can come in and you'll have access with your Shocker ID cards to get into the Honors College no matter the time of day. Because the normal Shocker Hall, which we are attached to, will close down for like safety purposes and for secure reasons later in the day. But as an Honors College student, you have access to these facilities throughout the day. So if you have a really late night essay that's going to be due or something that needs to get printed off very quickly, you can always come on in here. So feel free to kind of look around, see some of the nice areas. But I'll talk a little bit about some of my personal experiences with the Honors College before I pass you off. But as I mentioned, I'm a senior here at Wichita State, have been a member of the Honors College all 4 years. I'm in the biomedical engineering program here as well. And through the Honors College, I've had access to some really cool classes. So I've taken some leadership courses with Dr. Cohen, which were some of the more impactful courses that I've taken here at Wichita State. And it's really cool as an engineer to get outside of my kind of nerdier fields at times. But also you can do what's known as an honors contract. So taking a non-honors course and turning it into an honors course is another big thing that I've done as well. So I did that in my ergonomics course, and we are able to do some extra studies and extra work to really make it into what's known as an honors contract or an honors option course as well. So I've also had the opportunity to do research here at Wichita State University. So the Honors College is a heavy promoter of that as well. So there is a Cohen Enhancement Scholarship that can be used to help with research. I have a friend of mine, Jessica, who used that as well as she was in some unpaid work at the time, but was able to apply for funding through the Honors College to actually help supplement her work, her time doing research as well. So it's a really cool opportunity for students as well to look into some of the scholarship options to allow them to do research, and I think we'll have some others talk about some of the other cool things you can use those for as well. So I'll pass it off in here to my good friend Ivan, and he'll take it over.
Hi everyone, my name is Ivan Castillo. I'm a sophomore, double majoring in psychology and social work with a minor in theater, as well as I'm part of the Honors College, and within that I am part of the Emerald Lindquist Honors Scholars track. So before I talk a little bit more about our classroom space, I want to kind of talk more about our tracks and kind of the academic opportunities that we offer here in the college. So within the Honors College, like Brandon mentioned, we do have our academic tracks. We have our Emerald Lindquist Honors Scholars track, which is our general track. We also offer 3 interdisciplinary tracks, our leadership track, our law and public policy track, as well as our design your own track. We also offer other academic opportunities, such as a university honors minor for our students who want to minor in honors, so that it requires students to get involved with our Emerald Lindquist track, as well as one of our interdisciplinary tracks. And then we also offer an honors baccalaureate major, and within that, students have the opportunity to kind of bring together up to 3 different courses of study that they're interested in and kind of mesh them together. And with that, they have the opportunity of doing a thesis project with a professor and having kind of that mentorship with them. As a reminder, if you have any questions about the Honors College, feel free to ask us. We'd be more than welcome to kind of share kind of the experiences that we have with the Honors College. Now that I kind of mentioned a little bit about our kind of academic opportunities, I kind of want to show you our space in here. So this is our classroom space, our seminar space for the Honors College. As you can see, it's a very nice space. It's part of the expansion that we just had for the Honors College. And within it, most, if not all of our honors courses are taught within this space. I actually had the opportunity of having a course taught in here, which was the Power Storytelling, which was taught last fall by Roy and Polly Wenzel, which were both former employees of the Wichita Eagle. And within that class, it was a very interesting class because I got to learn a lot about not only their process within working with the Eagle, but kind of how to shape your personal narrative and kind of tell your own narrative story, which is very interesting. Like I said, this space is very unique because it promotes kind of that holistic approach of academic approach that the Honors College is trying to achieve by building not only an academic community but a social community for our students. Our classes typically cap at about 15 students, so you have that tight-knit community with students not only from maybe your own academic majors and academic colleges, but also academic colleges and academic majors from all over the university. So within that, we also have other opportunities for our students to get involved with the Honors College, not only academically. Our students are able to get involved with our Honors Ambassadors, which is an organization that I'm involved with. With that, we kind of help the Honors College with any recruitment events that they have for prospective honors students. And that's a really great opportunity that I've been able to have. Also, we have our Honors Student Council that kind of facilitates some things within the Honors College. So that's kind of a brief kind of overview of kind of not only the academic opportunities that we have in the Honors College, but as well as our kind of more involvement opportunities that we have. You don't have to choose a track for your first year. That's a question that we had. So you can just come into the Honors College and take a couple courses. You also have the opportunity of, even if you kind of are trying out the Honors College, you can take an honors course. And that doesn't necessarily mean you are in the Honors College. If you feel like, oh, that's something that I'm really interested in and really passionate about, then you can come in and talk and apply for the Honors College. So now that I kind of briefed you a little bit on that information, I want to pass it over to my friend Jay, who will talk a little bit more about his experience with the Honors College.
Thank you, Ivan. Good morning. My name is Jay Thompson. I'm a first year majoring in aerospace engineering. I'm working on my leadership track in the Honors College. And with that, I'm taking a leadership challenge with Dr. Peter Cohen. That is a really challenging honors seminar with only 15 people in it that I would recommend to anyone. I'm also a former resident in the Honors Living Learning Community, which is directly above us. Right outside this door is the lobby of Shocker Hall, and right over there are the elevators to go upstairs. Living the Honors LSE was amazing for me to experience in my first year. It was full of people who challenged me to be my best. I was surrounded by witty people that are now going to be my lifelong college friends. My friends and I used this specific space habitually, in a good way. It's plenty of space for a small group study session and has plenty of whiteboard for whatever needs you have. Out here is the main lounge space of the Honors College. While it's not the biggest space, it's definitely the most cozy with a giant beanbag. And you can also come out here if you need to use any more whiteboard space, because this entire wall is full of it. On this side is what we're currently putting in, a new space for the Honors College Library, in which you can rent and read books at your own time. And with that, I will hand it off to Lucas.
Hi everybody, my name is Lucas Webb. I'm majoring in aerospace engineering here at Wichita State, and I'm a senior this year, and I'm in the Emory Lindquist Honors College track. So I'm also on the Honor Student Council, and I'm the SGA, or Student Government Association representative on that. So that's basically working on a lot of initiatives and spearheading those within the Honors College. So this space here is the kind of staff part of the Honors College. A kind of fun fact about this used to be pretty much the entirety of the Honors College space. So this used to be kind of like the student lounge and the front desk and things like that. But now, as we have had a relatively large expansion, this got turned into the staff area. So over here we have the space where a lot of our honors faculty will be able to kind of work. This is their workspace, kind of work on their classes, grade papers, just things like that. Over here we have our dean's office, Dr. Engberg, and then over here we have the office of our advisor, and Trish Gandu, our assistant for scholarships and outreach. We can go on into her office.
Hi everyone, as NSE. And through NSE, Wichita State students can study at another institution for a semester or a year, and they only pay Wichita State tuition. So it's a huge benefit to our Wichita State students. You can go to one of about 200 schools that are a part of NSE. One of the questions I often financial aid, will those still count towards my studies while I'm on exchange? And the answer is yes, for the most part. The majority of your scholarships and financial aid will still count and help pay for your tuition while you're on exchange. Students meet with an advisor before they leave. That way they will know how their classes will transfer back. I did just recently attend the NSE conference and place some of our students for next year. And so this behind me shows where some of our students are going. They're going to some amazing locations this year. I have a student who next year will be going to Canada, one to the Virgin Islands at St. Thomas, another one in Hawaii. We have a student going to Alaska, Oregon, and in Minnesota. So it's a really great opportunity for our students to be able to go on NSE. Another thing to mention about NSE is it is open to any Wichita State student. So it's not just for students in the Honors College. So it is open to everyone. If there are any current students watching right now, there is still time for you to apply. Even though I've attended the conference and made some placements for next year, you can still apply for NSE if you're interested. So come and see me if you find that you're interested. Oh, one of the questions that we're getting is the deadline to apply to join the Honors College as a freshman, and there actually is not an official deadline. So we do accept applications to the Honors College up until the start of classes, about a week prior to classes starting each semester. Students can still apply, so get your applications in. There's still plenty of time. I'm going to turn it back over to Lucas.
All right, so we're going to make our way to the more student side, back to the student side of it. One of the things that I love most about the Honors College are the small class sizes. One of my favorite classes that I've taken is Philosophy of Space Exploration. Since I am an aerospace major, I love space. That class was about 7 people, and so that allowed me to really foster a really good relationship with the professor, and ultimately I got publishing out of that. So I got to write a paper and publish it in SB Voices. And so that's really good to have on, especially a graduate application, and I've used that on my graduate application, so it's really great. This is the student kind of kitchen and lounge area. So students will come in here to eat their lunch, make breakfast, dinner, whatever you want. Sometimes hang out, talk, things like that. So we have a refrigerator here that you can store your food in, a microwave, a Keurig, which is used very often. And over here is something new that we introduced are some lockers. And we kind of introduced these because we know that a lot of times students have a lot of stuff that they don't necessarily want to carry around to classes with them. And so you can enter a code to unlock it, put your stuff in there, and close it and lock it until you want to come back. And so we have what's called a WHEAT, Honors WHEAT Council, and that's basically our activities council. And so they'll use the lockers here a lot. And since they are an activities council, they'll host a lot of game nights and socials, and those also take place here as well. And speaking of WHEAT, another thing that they introduced this year are the honors houses. And this is very similar to the houses in Harry Potter. And so you go online, take a quiz. I took it a couple weeks ago. It's kind of like a personality quiz, and I got House Verto, which is the pangolin. And this was a lot of work and collaboration between WHEAT and the Honor Student Council, especially to come up with the kind of wacky animals that we came up with. And that initiative was basically to kind of foster more community, kind of form those houses, some healthy rivalry and different things like that. Over here are some examples of what the Cohen Enhancement Scholarship has done. And that Cohen Enhancement Scholarship is basically a scholarship of up to $4,000 to help you go and with your travel abroad or internship opportunities. So here we have Jaden Supine, and he got to be an agenda clerk for the Kansas State Democrats. And so that's a picture of him next to our Lieutenant Governor, Lynn Rogers, and he's a political science major, so that was a really great opportunity for him. And he's still in Topeka now. Up here we have Lydia, and she got to study abroad in France. Over here, you'll see she's next to the London Eye. She also got to go to a lot of different countries across the European continent, so that was a really fun opportunity. Down here, we have Austin Nelson, and he got to participate in a research project with the National Space Science and Technology Center at the Marshall Space Flight Center, and that's a NASA location in Huntsville, Alabama. So that was really awesome. I'm pretty jealous because that's the kind of stuff that I'm interested in too. Over here we have Aiden Jude, and he got to study abroad at King's College in London, and then right below him we have Hannah Denning, and she got to study abroad in Rome. So really all those opportunities either greatly reduced or eliminated the cost for the opportunities for those students, and it's really been a great benefit of being in the Honors College. So we're going to go ahead and return to my other lovely friends that you've got to talk to already, and have kind of a little more in-depth question and answer period for it.
All good? Do we have any questions?
All right, we're thinking of a question here. Writing it down.
Well, we can just talk about what we're all involved in for now.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sure. Can you start?
Yeah.
So, hello again from the start of the tour, Brandon. But just to talk about some of the different things that we're all involved with. So, again, as members of the Honors College, a lot of times we'll have very high achieving students that want to get involved on campus, want to be active. So, for myself, I have had the honor to be a part of student ambassadors, engineering ambassadors. Again, I mentioned I've done research with the university. I'm in an engineering honor society as well. I'm also a part of Greek life, so if anybody has questions about that, of course, we could answer. So that's just a little bit of some of the things I've been involved with. And you guys?
For me, I am also involved with student ambassadors. I'm also involved with Student Government Association here at Wichita State, where I serve as an at-large senator. I'm also involved with our Office of First Year Programs as a transition mentor, which is Wichita State's version of an orientation leader. So any incoming freshmen, I'm excited to see you and meet you this summer when you come for your orientation programs. But that's just a little bit about what I'm involved with here at WSU.
I'm only a first year, so my list is a little bit shorter. I was treasurer of an activities council for Residence Hall. I'm a candidate member of NRHH. I'm a representative on the engineering council, and I'm currently running to be a senator for the College of Engineering.
That's a long list. I don't know what you're talking
Yeah,
about.
that's pretty.
So I'm a senior this year, so I've done involved in Student Government Association. Also, I'm actually the honor senator, so I get to represent this college in student government, which is a blast. I'm also on the Honors Student Council and in Ambassadors for Diversity and Inclusion and Student Ambassador Society. I just keep thinking of it. Okay, looks like we have a question. How will honors help you with career in grad school?
Every way.
You wanna go for it? I can talk about it though. So I mentioned again at the start how one of the key things with graduating from the Honors College is you graduate with honors, with distinction. So again, that can help show, looking in the career world, because I won't be going to grad school myself, at least not that plan. Being able to show to employers that you know how to go above and beyond, you're willing to put in extra effort, you're willing to care more and work more, can help you when it comes to applying for jobs, getting that foot in the door, just something to help set you apart. Just because, again, when you're entering the job market, there's a lot of people that have some really good resumes, and sometimes you just need that little bit to go above. So that's why I'm hoping it'll help me out as well.
I mean, yeah, same here, echoing kind of what Brandon was saying, kind of putting you kind of ahead of the game when it comes to grad school. One of the beauties about the Honors College is that we actually have honors specific to some majors, so like psychology, political science, aerospace engineering, and so on and so forth. So you can actually kind of get that distinction within those majors that you are pursuing. So it's really fascinating, really interesting, unique to our honors program here at Wichita State.
So I kind of talked about this a little before. One of my favorite honors classes is philosophy of space exploration, and I took that over the summer a couple years ago now. And kind of like what I mentioned before, it was a 7-person class, but it was a philosophy class too. So we got to sit around a table and really just discuss different philosophies and like the ethics of space exploration and things like that. So this kind of ties back into the previous question too. Out of that, we had to write a paper and try and publish it in a place where, like a journal. And so that has really helped me with applications for jobs as well as grad schools, because they love seeing publications on a student's resume, and it's not extremely common to see. So that's an edge. Also, we just got a new position in the Honors College that basically helps students get internships that they might not be able to seek out on their own. So there's a person that's specifically dedicated to talking with the student. If you have unique interests or things like that, it's an actual person with a title to reach out to those places that you're interested in and help you get that internship. And that's also a really big leg up, especially in engineering, where experience is critical in getting a job and graduate school.
So we had another question asking if you can create your own major within the Honors College, and you actually can. We have something that we offer called the Honors Baccalaureate major, which is in a sense build your own major. You can kind of combine up to 3 different disciplines that you're passionate about. So kind of like I mentioned when I first introduced myself, I'm kind of all over the place when it comes to my studies. I'm double majoring with a minor, and before I decided to double major, I was actually considering the Honors Baccalaureate and doing that with psychology and theater because I wanted specifically to go into drama therapy. So doing the Honors Baccalaureate kind of let me kind of get best of both worlds, pick classes that I felt were gonna enrich me within the my course within theater as well as psychology, as well as partner with a faculty member within both studies. So if you're interested in doing kind of a build your own major or the Honors Baccalaureate, what you would do is kind of talk to our advisor here, Jessie, and she would kind of walk you through what you would expect. You would then meet with her Dean Ingberg, which kind of focuses with those students who are on the Honors Baccalaureate, and she would kind of guide you within the Honors Baccalaureate major. So if you're really interested in that, I would say reach out to Jessie or Dean Ingberg with more information, or even Trish, and she would be more than welcome to give you some information on that.
So another question we had was, are there any, given the circumstances that we're under right now, are there any changes to freshman orientation? And not at this time. We're not considering that right now. Things are going to be proceeding as normal. Obviously, the situation is fluid, so that could change, but at this time, there's not going to be any change to orientation.
With that too, for any updates about freshman orientation, I suggest following the Twitter page for the Office of First Year Programs. That's at New Shocks on Twitter and Instagram. That's where you can get some up-to-date information about our orientations, as well as just following along with wichita.edu/COVID-19 with any information about what's currently happening with the state of the world. And that's where you can get up-to-date information and kind of accurate information of what the university is doing.
Another question we just got was what all the LLC is. The Living Learning Community for the Honors College is one of many that Shucker Hall offers to students, in which you can live nearby on the same floor with people with similar interests or are in the same college as you. I came from the Honors College just above here, and it was an amazing experience. It was a very closely knit community. Everyone was very witty. It was people from all across the college, different majors, different interests, and it was great to get out there and just experience the people.
What were you all's favorite honors classes? I guess I kind of took that question.
You had a great answer to that.
My favorite honors course is actually calculus with Dr. Stephen Brady. It is a challenge, but if you push through it, you will definitely experience calculus a completely different way.
Probably mine was, and I mentioned it kind of when I was talking about the seminar room, but the power of storytelling. I really enjoyed it because it kind of pushed me to think differently about stories and storytelling, and kind of even telling your own story. One of the big takeaways that I took from that class was kind of sifting through information. And it was a story that our professor told us about how he was on a bike ride and he found kind of these traces of a wallet, kind of an ID, some credit cards, and kind of tracing those steps, kind of understanding what happened, and kind of throughout your life you're going to have to kind of sift through those moments to kind of understand the bigger picture. So I really enjoyed that class because it made me think outside the box and kind of think differently. And now whenever I go into a situation or I think of a story or kind of narrative, I kind of think about it different or kind of sift through it to see what I can find.
Good answer. Looking at my favorite honors class would probably be, again, I highlighted my leadership challenge classes I actually took 2 courses from Dr. Peter Cohen here at Wichita State. I've had the honor to be in several leadership positions within my different student organizations, so having the opportunity to really think differently, like you were saying, think kind of outside the box in terms of leadership, Being able to work with others is something that I really have found a lot of value in. I found that I put it to use very often, and while it may have been a little while since I've taken the courses, they're still some of the most impactful courses that I've taken here at Wichita State. And again, with the Honors College, it was like 8 people, 10, 11 people in these classes. So you really get a chance to get close to the professor, understand the material on a deeper level. It's certainly a good opportunity, and when it comes to my favorite honors classes, it definitely have to be some of the leadership courses you can take here at Wichita State. Shout outs. Okay, let's see. We have a shout out from, Rod from Wisconsin. I wonder if it's cold up there. It's beautiful over here. Tobin from Alaska?
Even colder up there.
Okay, yeah. Rewind Wisconsin, Alaska. And Janessa from Texas. Thank you guys for all tuning in. Again, if you have any other questions, again, we're all students up here at Wichita State to different degrees. Seniors up here all the way down to freshmen. So if you have any questions about just student life as well, feel free to let us know. But yeah, cool shout outs though. Almost from Alaska. I like that. Oh, you want to do some more shout outs? Someone else?
All right, so we have some more shout outs. Toby from Midwest City, Dalton and Haley from Great Bend, and JC from Ark City, Kansas. Thanks for watching, guys. And like Brendan said, if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask away. We're more than welcome to answer.
On the LLC, we'll begin hearing in the next couple weeks. For applicants for the Honors LLC, you will hear back within the next couple of weeks. Results for that? Any LLC, yeah.
Highly recommend LLCs for anybody.
Yes. Amazing opportunity.
No shout outs to Jacob State Farm. Most memorable honors experience. I could talk a little bit maybe about some just experiences. Again, I haven't been as involved directly with the Honors College in my 4 years here at Wichita State, but it's the opportunities that it's provided me and provided my friends as well. I've gotten to know some really amazing people because of the Honors College, and I've been able to relate better to individuals who maybe I've just known in a few classes or I've just interacted with briefly, but because we were part of the Honors College, we had the chance to interact in more meaningful ways, again, through courses that are smaller class sizes. Again, I mentioned early on my friend who was able to utilize the Honors College resources to do some really cool research, and I got to see a lot of what she was doing. I'm actually in a class right now with the professor she was working under, so just seeing the impact that it can have in so many different ways is really cool with the Honors College here at Wichita State. It's not just a way to have an extra letter or distinction when you graduate, which is nice. Don't get me wrong, we're still going for it. But it's interesting to watch how it can impact so many different areas and in different kind of ways and methods to do that, whether that's through the scholarships or encouraging students, studying abroad, having these cool courseworks, or allowing me to print off a lot of cool things with their printers, which again, big perk if you're not aware of it. So that's some of my more memorable experiences.
My most memorable experience was actually just a couple months ago. Through Housing and Residence Life and the Honors College, I was able to go with 10 friends to Rome, Italy for a week. That was an amazing experience. Rome was really cool. Seeing all the history and how the culture clashed over there was awesome. I would not take that back.
Nice. Definitely.
I think another one of my favorite things about the Honors College, and especially the Honor Student Council, is how much opportunity there is for growth and innovation. I feel like Dean Engber really allows the students to drive where they want to see the Honors College going. Because I think at this period in time, it's really flexible, and students can really have an impact on where the Honors College will end up and the potential that it will have. And so I've been really excited to have a part of that. Like some of the things that we've been doing is looking at how orientation will work, trying to make that more interactive, more fun, different things like that, trying to foster more community, trying to think of different ideas, looking at different admissions requirements too. All of that has really been student-led. Even this expansion has been student-led. This expansion started with the Honor Student Council. One of the members said, "Man, we really need a front door," and that's because entrance before, you went through the housing entrance and then came into the Honors College. So one of the students really just wanted a front door so we could have a face to the campus. And so Dean Engberg was really receptive to that. And that's how this entire expansion happened in the first place. So I think that how student-driven it is really important to me, and one of my most favorite things about it.
I believe we had a question about if a student takes a gap year, if they could still apply. The answer is yes, that the kind of application process can be adjusted for those that have taken maybe a year off in between their high school and university experiences. So for those of you that are looking to do some sort of gap experience, gap years, you can still be considered and can apply still for the Honors College. So just so you're aware, I recommend applying for it, especially if you have a whole year to fill out the application. Why not?
I think one other thing that I'm not sure if you all touched on yet was that non-honor students are able to take an honors course to try and kind of like test it out, see if they like it, different things like that. And if they do, then they are more than welcome to apply to the Honors College. So we implemented that just so that non-honor students don't have to commit by applying yet before they actually know what the honors classes and honor experiences are like. So it looks like we have another question.
Yes, so we have some questions about Greek life. So the first one was just like, how big is Greek life here at Wichita State? So again, I am a part of a fraternity, so Farmhouse Fraternity here at Wichita State. There are 3 different councils that are located here on Wichita State's campus, and we've got Panhellenic Council, IFC Fraternal Council, and then MGC, so Multicultural Greek as well. So I won't go through all the different groups and all of them. But when you think of just Greek life as a whole, there are stereotypes that are associated with it oftentimes, but I really like to think here at Wichita State that those won't hold true, or they won't generally hold true. So this isn't, the massive here at Wichita State's Greek life. I don't have numbers specifically for members-wise, but it's not like you have to be a part of Greek life to get involved here on campus. It is an option, and it's one that I've taken for sure and really gotten a lot of value out of. But it is certainly an option for students that want to look into it. So if you are curious, it's a bit tough right now with, no one's anywhere because of the pandemic. But normally there is some spring recruitment that happens. There's fall recruitment that happens. There were questions about sorority rush. I'm sorry, all the sorority women out there, because I forget. I believe it's in August, early August, right around, I believe this last year, it was before school started. But that'll be a week for the Panhellenic councils to be looking into that. So for those of you that are interested in sorority life, that is a separate process. Those that are looking maybe into fraternities or into multicultural Greeks, it is a bit of a different per basis. So you'd have to kind of look and see what you want to get into. I know we have information on the websites if you want to look into what our Greek lives are like more. But it is certainly a cool opportunity. And again, as we've talked a bit, a lot of us are involved in a lot of different things in the Honors College. That just tends to be the norm with honor students. So I would highly recommend at least considering it or looking into Greek life here at Wichita State. Even if it's not as a freshman, maybe you want to take some time to get to know yourself, get to know what university life is like. I joined as a sophomore, and it's certainly something that worked out well for myself. So don't feel like as soon as you step onto a university campus or Wichita State's campus that you just have to get involved in everything. You can take your time, you can kind of get a feel for what works for you, what really is appropriate for yourself, because I think it's more important for people to kind of understand themselves before they really throw themselves at every organization or throw themselves at Greek life. It's a great place to find yourself, but I do recommend to try and get a feel for what you can handle in university before you get super involved. So if you have more questions about Greek life, please let me know. I can help answer some questions. But hopefully that at least gives you some sort of clarity for it.
All right, and we have another shout out for Jilly from Salina, Kansas. Thank you for watching. We also had a question about if you can apply to be part of the Honors College after your freshman year, and the answer is yes. Actually, in my case, I applied coming into my sophomore year. So with that, you don't have to necessarily come in as a freshman within the Honors College. You'll still get the same experience as coming in as a sophomore or a junior or even a senior into the Honors College. The beauty about it is that you just integrate into the community very well. It's not that you are missing out on anything. You still get the same experience regardless of what year you apply or get accepted into the Honors College.
Oh, sure. Okay, so
I'll pass it to you.
one last thing that I want to mention. is that the scholarship opportunities for the Honors College is immense. I already talked about the Cohen Enhancement Scholarship. One other big scholarship is the Koch Scholarship. For me, I personally took part in the Koch Scholarship, and that has changed my college career in ways that I couldn't even imagine. I don't have to worry about the burden of piling student loans after I graduate, and that has allowed me to really partake in my college experience. So there are just tons of opportunities in the Honors College, and I hope that we've tried to convey at least some of them through this today. And so with that, I think we're going to go ahead and wrap up. Hope you have a fantastic break and stay healthy.
Okay. Well, thank you. Thank you. Go Sharks, everybody. Go Sharks, everybody.